Okay, I'm pretty much all set up. I wanted to show you the light, so I'm going to plug it in right now. Now you see I switched the switch to ABS because that's the type of plastic I'm using. Now you see this light turns red. In about a minute or so, usually it doesn't take too long, it'll turn blue. If there's time, I'll show the whole thing. It's usually pretty quick. I think it's automatic. I think it uses a temperature sensor. So if you unplug it for a couple minutes and then come back before it's completely cooled off, which I don't necessarily recommend doing, but it's probably not going to hurt it. That's okay. It'll charge up faster. I was using this a little bit ago, like I said, to make this. You'll see in a minute when it's done. How to use it. There you see, it turned blue. So I'm going to take this off for now. So I'm just going to draw something here. I have to admit it is kind of hard to come up with ideas for it because it's a little bit hard to use, I have to admit. So I prefer the slow feature unless I'm filling stuff in. Anyways. You have to push it in a little bit sometimes. You can hear, oh yeah, the fan is moving. You can hear the fan is really loud. I hear the new one, I think, is supposed to be quieter, but don't trust me on that. You can see my plastics going in relatively fast. It's not till about here where you actually start to lose your plastic, so don't feel like you're losing too much. So anyways, it's starting to come out now. So at first you're going to want to make a big blob where you want to start so it sticks to the paper. No guarantees, of course, but it's worth a try. And on like every corner, you're probably going to want to make a dot. Okay, so I got that. Now I'm going to make a D. And I'm actually going to try something a little bit different. I know it's made to sort of do this, but in my opinion it doesn't work very well, but I'm going to give it a try. Okay, now I'm just going to peel it off. I will warn you that sometimes it takes the paper and any markings on it with it. As you can see here, I made a kind of 3D. It's a little more like a bee, but it's kind of hard to draw in the air, especially if the old one, I hear the new one dries faster, which would make it easier if it does. Okay, so here's why I said you're going to want the pliers. So you can maybe see there's a little bit of yellow here. You're going to want to get rid of that every time you start the next thing, and it comes out pretty fast on its own, so yeah. Now just make a simple cube, if I can. I'm going to use the fast feature to make the base, just so you know. As you can see, it is a bit faster, but I prefer slow because they have a little bit of time to think about it before I move on. Now I'm going to use slow for the rest because I'm going to be going into air and it dries faster. Okay, so link it up there, make a line going up, and stop for it to dry, and move away. Next one, the same thing, going up, stop there, up. As you can see, it's not very even. Like I said, it's a little bit hard to draw in the air, but you can. That's actually exactly the same. That did not work very well. I don't recommend doing this because sometimes you break stuff other than what you're trying to break, but I'm just going to take this off. You probably also want some scissors to trim the remaining things off. I would not recommend putting your fingers this close to it at first, but I think I'll be okay. Okay, there you can see I got the first part. Now, I wish this had been able to stay down. That would have made it easier, but no. Today is not my lucky day. So as you might have noticed now and before, you're going to want to, when you're drawing into air, you're going to want to go about a centimeter or so above where you actually want the stuff to come out. This is already going to be more of a trapezoid, but you get the idea. And I have to admit, they make it look a lot easier than it is at first in the videos. So yeah, there's a cube next to my 3D. So, now when you're done with it, which I am, you're going to want to press both buttons, and you can see the plastic starts to come out. Eventually, it'll stop moving, and the motor will sound different. At that point, you just want to slowly pull it out while holding both buttons. You technically don't have to hold both buttons, but I'd recommend it. Okay, I've reached end, and you can see a long string comes out. That's because there's still some in there. And there's a lot. Okay, there. So you're going to have to snip off here, which that is about an inch or so. Ooh, it's a wand, a wavy wand. I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera. I'm using like the lowest quality it has. It does have 180p. Anyways, so now that you're done with that, going to want to turn it off, which is the center. You're probably going to want to take some plastic off the tip. Then, before you probably want to unplug it and turn it off. So don't blame me if something happens because you left it plugged in while it was off. But as you can see, I made some stuff. This was an attempt to make a dragon. Well, I will admit I kind of gave up on it. It was actually working out pretty well. I think PLA is supposed to stick to the paper better, which will mean that it's harder to take off. But that could be for better. Like I said, there's this cube-ish thing. Made a lot of other stuff. It's really nice to make presents and stuff. Like you can put a tiny thing in the card. When you switch the color, there will be some extra stuff, which you can just make a random thing like this. As you can see here, I was switching from blue to yellow, and it will start to mix a little bit, but I would not recommend trying to mix colors because that's just extremely inefficient. So just buy your own colors. Like I said, it's $10 a bag, which compared to a whole spool of plastic you can get for regular 3D printer, that's a little bit much, but it's not bad either. And you can choose from tons of colors in both PLA and ABS. Like I said, ABS is a little bit harder than PLA, but other than that, you should be fine. Anyways, that is all for now. That's it from the Quick Vids, or whatever I call myself at the time. Bye.